Technology is moving at a quicker and quicker pace. That used to take maybe years at the beginning of my career. Now it's taking days. There's lots of changes, I think, that are occurring. But I think one really important thing when you look at insurance is the change happening today. If companies cannot address these challenges, that's going to have an impact. Standing still is no longer an option. So disruption can be positive. Often the term around disruption is being used as this is a negative thing for the insurance industry. But if they have more customers and the customers are happy, why is that a bad thing?
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo andan? Bienvenidos a 100% Seguro. Bueno, un viernes gris como toda la semana, ideal para quedarse en su casa viendo este programa especial porque tuvimos un invitado de lujo que visitó Argentina. Se trata de Sahota, CEO global de Charles Taylor, InsureTech, un proveedor de tecnología especializado en transformación digital. Tiene sede en Londres, pero también tiene presencia en Latinoamérica, también obviamente en Argentina. Estuvo unos días aquí en Buenos Aires y estuvo visitando otras oficinas, hablando un poco de todo, las tendencias a nivel global en materia tecnológica, cómo está impactando las relaciones de consumo en todo tipo de sector. Y en particular también analiza cómo va a impactar puntualmente en el mercado asegurador. Aprovecha de hacer un diagnóstico sobre la industria aseguradora latinoamericana y cómo está en materia tecnológica y un tema no menor, un concepto importante en seguros, que es la velocidad del cambio. Los cambios están cada vez más rápidos en todos los sectores, entre ellos el seguro, está impactando y hay que ver qué hacer respecto a eso. Muchos temas importantes para el consumidor, para la compañía de seguro y también para el productor. En esta parte primera de la entrevista con Sahota, lo conocemos un poquito antes de meternos de lleno a esta entrevista especial para 100% Seguro.
So the technology sector has seen an exponential change. So I've worked nearly 20 years in the sector. I've serviced many different sectors all the way from oil and gas, government, media, consumer. And two things that I've seen that have happened over those 20 years. Number one is technology is moving at a quicker and quicker pace. So I almost feel now, when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to read the next technology innovation. That used to take maybe years at the beginning of my career. Now it's taking days. Things like artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, they're going to change our entire world, and they're going to change the way we interact with people and how we deal with things. And that's going to also have an effect on the corporate world as well. And we expect to be able to interact with people in whichever form we like. It could be email, it could be a WhatsApp, it could be a telephone call, it could be a video FaceTime call. Any of these mediums are now just expected. So we're seeing the phenomenon of cloud computing.
Yes.
And a lot of our solutions are based on the cloud. Why is that important? Because the last biggest trend is data. And if you add to that Internet of Things, so if I look at home now, I have a telephone doorbell that is connected, the lights in my house are connected, I can talk via voice, I can order a taxi by talking in my house. These things were of science fiction. I think today we're reaching the digital age where things are starting to come true.
Son muchos los cambios, la velocidad del cambio que vos mencionás también es un tema que está impactando fuertemente. La pregunta es, puntualmente dentro del mercado asegurador, ¿cuáles crees que son de todas estas cuestiones que has mencionado recién, que ya no es futurología, es algo que está pasando actualmente, va a impactar más en el mercado asegurador, sobre todo en el corto y mediano plazo?
There's lots of changes, I think, that are occurring, both in today and in the medium and long term. But I think one really important thing when you look at insurance is the change happening today. If you're going to use more technology, cyber risk is a big issue.
Sure.
We need to protect. That means you have to modernize your technology. Secondly, regulation. Insurance, it's financial services. Regulation is almost changing on a daily basis. And you have to keep up with it, and you have to make those changes applicable through your organization. The other thing is we're seeing most organizations are offering more and more products. So they want the time to market for the product to shorten. They want to be able to cross-sell different products. All of those things that are impacting the business within the insurance sector, and technology is driving these businesses. How do you change it? And the clients that I talk to, whether it's here in South America, whether it's in other parts of the world, the common theme and debate is, how do we change? Because you've got to train your workforce and all of the other things. But it's no longer a choice. It's actually becoming an issue. Because if companies cannot address these challenges, that's going to have an impact.
Sure.
And the impact is they're either going to lose the customers to people who can, not be able to offer the products, improve that customer experience.
Or disappear.
Or disappear completely. So standing still is no longer an option.
Jason, hay un concepto muy interesante que has mencionado, que es la velocidad del cambio. Y es un tema, digamos, que está impactando fuertemente en toda la cadena de valor. Puntualmente, ¿cómo crees que eso va a tener su impacto en el mercado asegurador y sobre todo en el mercado asegurador de las características del latinoamericano?
20 years ago, people used to do one big change project and then have a gap. Today, change is the norm. So one of the big things organizations have to do is they have to start gearing themselves up to deal with change on a continual basis. One of the key things I've seen in other sectors, and there are other sectors that have had similar challenges, is they've looked to bring people and attract people from other sectors. Because you need people who understand insurance, but you also need people to understand how to drive change, how to harness the technology. And it's the blend of those things. So one of the most important things I think collectively the insurance industry needs to do is start to attract new talent. And that's not just the next generation coming through, that's the generally let's attract people who are not necessarily in the sector. One of the other things is you have to have a completely different change of mindset in how you're going to look at investments. I often say to people, innovation's great. If you're going to spend $200,000 to build a business case to do a $200,000 project, why don't you just spend the $200,000 to do the innovation pilot? Insurance is about selling risk. Therefore, naturally, is the industry prepared to take those risks? But if you don't take risks and you don't drive innovation and you don't start driving these change programs, then, as I said, not only are you going to stand still, you might not be there because others are doing it. So the whole mindset of how am I going to treat the investment in technology? How am I going to drive the change with the technology? Those are really important questions that the boards, senior management, all the way through these organizations have to really think about. The industry, the service providers, we have to start getting used to more partnership, more collaborative ways of working. Be not afraid to work with clients or other suppliers together to be able to actually give the right solution and outcome to any given client that we work with. If we don't have a solution, we should be prepared to work with another partner to give the right answer to the client. I think that's our duty as well, both from an innovation and helping. I think, this isn't just a company-specific problem, this is an industry challenge.
¿Necesita asegurar su patrimonio? Su opción, con seguridad, es la Nueva Seguros.
En el idioma de las no palabras, el viento nunca se lleva las palabras, porque van directo al corazón. Es un idioma sin fronteras, que nos une sin importar de dónde seamos. Por eso, cada vez estamos en más lugares, para darte eso que queremos todos. Tranquilidad, estés donde estés. Sancor Seguros.
Si pensás en un seguro para vos, pensás en nosotros. San Cristóbal Seguros. Tu compañía.
Seguimos hablando de transformación digital, seguimos hablando de innovación y aprovechamos la visita de este especialista desde Londres para hablar también con la calle, para ver qué opina respecto a lo que es las nuevas tendencias de consumo. ¿Hacen compras por internet? ¿Prefieren internet o el canal tradicional? Y puntualmente, ¿han adquirido seguros también a través de una plataforma digital? ¿Lo harían? ¿Lo contratarían al futuro? ¿O prefieren el asesoramiento personalizado? Es muy importante tener la voz de la calle, aquí, en 100% Seguro.
¿Haces compras a través de internet?
Poco y nada. Las cosas que necesito voy y las compro en un negocio.
Sí, en general sí realizo compras por internet.
No, generalmente voy personalmente por una cuestión de seguridad.
No compro, no me gusta comprar por internet.
Sí, compro de todo un poco.
Sí, de vez en cuando compro cosas ahí.
No se me ocurre comprar cosas por internet. Siempre que quiero comprar algo voy y lo compro a un negocio.
Sí, uso.
Sí, uso bastante.
Sí, justamente este fin de semana largo fui a Colón, Entre Ríos, y todo lo contraté vía internet y todo muy bueno.
¿Contás con algún tipo de seguro, ya sea para tu vivienda, para tu auto?
Con varios. Auto, vivienda. La vivienda 2, personales, por supuesto.
¿Y esos seguros, digamos, que contrataste, lo hiciste de manera personalizada, con un asesoramiento, o alguno lo contrataste a través de internet?
No, todo personalizado. Todo con una persona de carne y hueso. Tengo un amigo que se dedica a eso, que es productor de seguros, así que te diría que si tengo 8 seguros, 6 son con él.
El seguro del auto, sí. Y fue con un asesoramiento personalizado de la parte de la empresa de la automobiliaria. Y lo podría contratar por internet, pero después de ver toda la parte que, o sea, todo lo que tenga en internet, después sí estaría bueno hablar con alguien por teléfono, eso sí, así te da un poco más de seguridad.
Prefiero hacerlo de manera personalizada por una cuestión de que desconfío en el tema de dejar mis datos en alguien que no conozco. Prefiero ir a hacerlo personalmente en un lugar donde sé que puedo ir a reclamar por lo menos.
Tengo de auto y de casa, sí. A través de internet. El de auto sí. El de la casa ni idea porque lo maneja mi vieja.
Sí, tengo un seguro para la moto y después para algunos artículos personales. Y no, el de la casa, mis viejos, con un productor de seguros.
En el caso de tener que contratar algún otro seguro por otro motivo, ¿elegirías internet o te volcás más por lo personalizado?
No, por internet lo podría hacer también, depende de las facilidades que me brinde, pero sí.
Sí, seguro de auto y de casa, sí, los dos. Creo que fue que parte y parte, o sea, todo lo que hagas en internet también lo tenés que hacer personalmente algunas cosas, así que puede ser que por internet haya sido.
A través de un productor de seguro. En persona prefiero. Sobre seguro es en persona.
Para el auto, o sea, en forma personal, no por internet. No tuve buena experiencia con internet por el seguro. Quiero algo que yo sepa qué es lo que me cubre realmente y quiero que me den todo ahí, en el momento.
Tengo todo por intermedio del banco y estoy conforme. Lo que pasa es que yo, como soy más grande que ustedes, me dedico a hacer todas las compras más en tema directo, de persona a persona, y me cuesta internet. Pero bueno, de a poquito nos iremos incorporando.
Bueno, y siempre es muy importante tener la reflexión de la calle respecto a lo que piensa de muchos temas vinculados al consumo, en particular del mercado asegurador. Realmente conclusiones muy interesantes. El 60% utiliza internet para hacer ciertas compras. Los que dijeron que no lo utilizan, una respuesta muy interesante es que desconfían de poner los datos en internet. Hay un tema de seguridad muy importante para seguir trabajando. Le preguntamos sobre los seguros. 8 de cada 10 tienen algún tipo de cobertura, pero el 100%, dato no menor, lo contrató de forma personal. A futuro le consultamos si lo haría a través de internet o alguna plataforma digital. El 30% contestó afirmativamente, pero 7 de cada 10 siguen confiando en el asesoramiento personal a la hora de contratar una cobertura de seguros.
Provincia Seguros te presenta su nueva app. Bájala y tené lo que necesitas a un dedo de distancia. Accede a tus pólizas, a la tarjeta de circulación y Mercosur, siniestros, denuncia y seguimiento online, asistencia al vehículo. Planificás y manejás tu tiempo porque sabés al instante dónde está el auxilio y mucho más. Todo lo que necesitas a un dedo de distancia. Nuestro compromiso es con vos. Provincia Seguros, una empresa del Grupo Provincia.
Ahora tengo Rus Móvil, la nueva aplicación de Río Uruguay Seguros que me permite ubicar la agencia más cercana. También puedo solicitar asistencia mecánica y hasta comunicar un siniestro. Rus Móvil, un avance tecnológico que pone la información de mi seguro donde la necesito.
Y hablando de intermediación, aprovechamos y le preguntamos al invitado del día de hoy, Jason Sahota, CEO de Charles Taylor, sobre el impacto que tendrá la transformación digital en la intermediación de seguros, puntualmente en lo que es el canal de productores, asesores de seguros, un tema realmente muy importante. También lo que es el impacto de la transformación de los outsiders, aquellas personas que vienen o empresas a transformar la industria asegurada desde afuera, por ejemplo, grandes players como son Google o Amazon. Y también reflexiona si los cambios vendrán justamente de estos outsiders, de gente que viene de fuera del mercado o de actores que son ya parte del mercado asegurador y en particular también pensando en compañías y en productores, cómo trabajar en transformación digital. ¿Cuál es el mayor aporte que hace la compañía de ustedes hacia las compañías de seguro?
So first of all, we have a very simple business model. So we either own or have invested in the underlying software platforms. And we have very strong relationships at an executive level, both with Microsoft and with Oracle, because those are the technologies that we use to build our software platforms. It's very important to me, and I'll explain to you as I go through. The second part is to have the implementation and support capabilities. So help do the technical implementation with the client, but also help look after it afterwards. Why is that important? Most of our solutions are on the cloud. Why is that good for the client? Well, data protection's covered. You can grow your data as much as you want. It works in multiple countries without you having to worry about how your infrastructure is built. And so therefore it unleashes a whole new world and platform for everybody. So we like to think that we're not just about the software and implementing it. We're actually going to stand side by side with our clients and we're going to help them through that change journey. The last part is we are 100% insurance focused. So I have people in my organization who know nothing about technology and are ex-broker, ex-underwriter, ex-claims director, because we have to understand our clients' environments. We have to understand the technology. We have to bring the best of both together and innovate. So we're taking the latest technologies, we're understanding the issues the industry is facing, putting it into our solutions, which is why having the underlying platforms is very important. So we don't implement anybody's solution, we only implement our solutions. You should be able to measure very tangibly what's the benefit we are doing for you. Operational effectiveness, increase in revenue, whatever it is, better insight of your data. And that's probably the last part which underpins all of this, which is we have around data and analytics. So there's management information and business intelligence to keep the business running. So the technologies applied to really solve real problems. We are not trying to sell a software product.
Los outsiders y las InsureTech, ¿cómo impactan en el mercado tradicional de seguros?
Well, the first thing I've learned is to never say never to anything. And we've seen many organizations from a technology standpoint disrupt other industries.
Yes.
There is a school of thought that says disruption in insurance will occur outside the sector and outside the industry. And there is a school of thought which says disruption will occur from inside the industry. My personal point of view at this moment in time is the disruption will come from inside the industry. And I'll explain why. Most InsureTechs, over 90% of them, are in distribution in personal lines business, where they've started trying to leverage data from Facebook and other social media. That has a value. That means you can interact in a different way. But that's where most of the technology disruption has come. There's also commercial lines, which is highly complex and is often based on experience. These are not simple insurance risks to manage. So that coupled with the regulation, so understanding technology on its own is great, but you have to understand the industry you're operating in. And I think if we look at fintech in banking, it has done some great things. But the biggest disruption fintech did in banking was around payment processing. And then we've seen the digital piece come from the banks themselves. So disruption has occurred, but it occurs in different places for different reasons. And that's partly the reason why I feel the disruption is going to come from the insurers. But it can only come from the insurers through collaboration, through consortiums. And as I said to you before, I think we as a service provider, we have a role to play as well. We need to look at these issues and challenges that the industry faces, look at new ways of doing things, and we have to bring those ideas. So we shouldn't be saying to a client, you have a problem, give me a check, blank check, and I will try and fix it. We should be looking at what's the problem, we need to invest ourselves, and then go to you and say, this is an issue we know you have, we've discussed it. Actually, we've been investing in something. Now do you want to collaborate with us? And that's partnership. So disruption can be positive. I think often the term around disruption is being used as this is a negative thing for the insurance industry. But if they have more customers and the customers are happy, why is that a bad thing?
Hoy por hoy en Argentina, más de 6 de cada 10 seguros se vende a través de brokers, de intermediarios, productores, corredores, depende del país. Este tiene una definición distinta. Y hay un poco de temor respecto a la amenaza de la transformación digital a lo que es la distribución, es decir, la venta a través de asesores, especialistas en seguros. ¿Qué mensaje le podrías dar a ellos y cuál crees que es el futuro que se viene para la intermediación tradicional en este contexto de transformación digital, de disrupción y de ola digital?
It's a very interesting question because the one thing about this question is I think it's being asked everywhere. Any event I go to, any time I present, or any time I meet a client, it's often a question that we get asked. The value chain within insurance is very unique. My belief at the moment is one of that there is a place for everybody. They all have a role to play. But that doesn't mean that their role is going to be exactly the same as it is today. And I think this is where the confusion comes for me when I speak to people. They're very binary. Either it's in or it's out. And they don't think of anything in between. And actually, technology can help to improve the efficiency of the distribution channel. Technology can help to improve the quality of data for the carriers and the insurers, and also the reinsurers. But we already see this today. You know, different countries have different behaviors. If I go to the US, and I've spent time living out in the US, I will buy my life insurance, my car insurance, probably through a retail broker, even in 2018. If I go to the UK, we have the aggregator market model, where I will go online, I will type my details, and I will look for a quote. Is it important that I connect to the customer? Yes, I'm an employee. If you provide my life insurance, health insurance, if I need to make a claim, how do I do it? So if you can make that easier for me as an employee, that's better for me as an employee. But that doesn't mean we have to get rid of the distribution or we have to do that. We have to introduce a new layer to get the connection of the products that are being sold to the customer experience. These things need to change. They need to adapt, they need to be flexible. But personally, my view is everybody is required within this value chain. But actually, interestingly, it goes to the same point of I was saying earlier on. We need to see more collaboration. And also, I think we will see this question disappear over a period of time. As people get more comfortable with technology, they get more comfortable about what disruption actually means, and then they start seeing the benefits. If you have a product and you're selling it and the same data is seen by everybody in the value chain, why is that a bad thing? I want to be an advocate of change within the insurance industry. We have a role to play within it, but I want collectively as much as possible that we start looking at the change as a positive thing rather than fearing it.
Bueno, realmente muy interesante los conceptos vertidos por Jason Sahota. Agradecemos obviamente su estancia en Argentina, su visita aquí en las oficinas, una agenda realmente muy apretada, y obviamente a todo el equipo de Charles Taylor. Y hablando de innovación, hablando de tendencias, no se olviden que este mes, el 31 de mayo, falta menos para nuestra conferencia anual sobre tendencias e innovación en el mercado asegurador. Realmente una agenda de lujo con invitados del exterior, gente que viene de Estados Unidos, de Brasil, de Chile y también especialistas de Argentina. Los que no están habituados a venir a los congresos de seguros aquí a nivel local, estará abriendo el evento el superintendente Juan Paso. También la superintendencia hablará de lo que es la modernización del sector asegurador con la presencia de Carlos Piantanida y realmente todo lo que hace la transformación digital, entre ellos obviamente lo que es el futuro de la intermediación, lo que es marketing digital para productores y muchos temas más. Aquí pueden ver la página ya para tener más información e inscribirse. Por lo pronto los invitamos a vernos el próximo viernes 6:30 de la tarde aquí por Metro. Buen fin de para todos. Chau, chau.
This is my 5th time in Argentina from a work standpoint, but I've come here for personal vacation in the past. Food and wine. I'm a big fan of the wine in Argentina, especially the red wine. So my big passion is cricket.
Oh, yes.
Which I'm very happy to bring over to Argentina. But it's
we don't have cricket here.
You don't? No. But obviously cricket, football.
Maybe you're a fan of Birmingham City or Tottenham?
It's Tottenham. It's
okay.
Tottenham Hotspur because that's where I grew up. Unfortunately, having 2 girls, I tried to take them to football matches. They unfortunately weren't interested. So most of the time it's with my friends.
You have to go here to the Monumental River Plate, the best stadium of Argentina.
Perfect. That's I'll add that to the list. Yeah.
Who gonna win the FIFA World Cup in Russia?
Oh, that's a tough question when I'm sitting in Argentina. Having watched England play many times, my ambitions for England is to make it to the quarterfinals. But I'm highly, it's high probability that Argentina and some of the other countries in Latin America are going to go pretty far.